Welcome to the A&P Bible. Today we're talking about an introduction to anatomy. So you may have just signed up for a course, may it be a beauty, holistics, sports nutrition, personal trainer course, and you see the A&P syllabus or module on your rota, and you're thinking, I'm only here to help people, I want to massage people, I want to train people, I want to make people's lives better. But in order to do that and to pass your qualification, you need anatomy and physiology. So what are you going to be studying in your anatomy and physiology, and what the hell have you got yourself into? So let's have a look and see what A&P actually really means. So what is anatomy? So if you want to talk about technical terms, anatomy is the branch of biology concerned with the study of the structure of the organisms and their parts. So it's really all about what's going on with the body from a structural point of view, like the bones, the muscles, the heart, lymph nodes, etc. There's so much that we need to know about the structure of the organisms. As you can see here, I've taken the heart as an example. It's a really, really good example, because the kind of things that we look at from an anatomical point of view when we're talking about the heart, we look at the size, the shape, the position, how many layers it has, and what it's made of. So it's really about the structural capacity of the heart. When we talk about physiology, so don't get the two confused, physiology is the branch of biology that deals with the functions of living organisms and their parts. So functions, example, the heart again, we're not looking at the structure anymore. We're looking at what does the heart do? How does it contract? What are valves for and how do they work? So it's a lot of questions, but we're going to find out all the answers to them. So that's physiology. So anatomy, more concerned with the structural capacity of different organisms and their parts, and physiology, dealing with the functions of living organisms and their parts. Let's just get a brief overview of anatomy versus physiology. So anatomy is really how is the body made and what is it made up of. So is it bones, muscle, lymph, tissue, fluid, etc. Physiology, what does it do and how the hell does it do that? So they're the really good differentiation between anatomy and physiology there. Systems of the body and topics that you will be covering. This list might make you go, ah! But don't forget, because I'm going to cover all of them anyways. Some of the things you're going to be looking at, and this is in most syllabuses. So even if you're doing holistics, you're doing massage, or you're doing nutrition, you're going to have to learn all these systems. It doesn't matter. They overlap massively. And as you go on and progress with your profession, you're always going to be coming back to them. So it's really important that we learn them. And I do layered learning, where we'll talk about a muscle, then we might talk about a bone underneath, and suddenly it all starts to make sense as a human body, instead of it just being a system, closing the book on that system and moving on. Some of the systems we will be going through and learning: the muscular systems, lymphatic system, it's like a second circulatory system that has lymph nodes around the body, helps with detoxification. The nervous system, so brain to the hand, if you're putting your hand on a hot stove and the hand pulls away, that's the nervous system acting. Digestive system, everything that happens in the gut from the minute you put something in your mouth to all the way through. We'll be learning all about that, and digestive enzymes and what happens there. The endocrine system, hormones of the body, one of my favorite topics. It's so interesting, and everybody can relate to the endocrine system. Cardiovascular system, arteries, veins, and the heart. Reproductive system, I think we all know what that means, but we're going to get into it with talking about the different hormones that are involved in the different parts of the body. Respiratory system, I teach this through meditation. So obviously we'll do a few bits and pieces together, but I do a meditation slide as well, where we actually breathe and we talk about the air going in through the nose and down through the different parts of the respiratory system into the lungs, and gases exchange as well. That's a really, really nice system to learn. The cell, what the hell is a cell? Are we made up of cells? What is in the cell? And if there is something in the cell, what does it do? So we're going to be learning about that. Urinary system, everything that has to do basically with excretion through the urinary system, through the kidneys, the nephrons, etc. Skeletal system, bones of the body. I always start with the skeletal system because layered learning is easy to do once you know all the bones of the body. They're the systems that we're going to be going through. However, the reason I started this YouTube channel is because I believe that most people aren't being catered to their learning type. It's really unfortunate. My one of my relatives left school really early because she said that they thought she was stupid. She couldn't pick anything up. had nothing to do with that. She's a highly intelligent woman. She just wasn't catered to. Her learning style wasn't catered to. And as we grow, we learn more and more about learning types. But it's important that you recognize now at the start of your course, what type of learner are you? Because if you're an auditory learner, there's no point reading a book for an hour and getting pissed off that nothing went in, because you don't learn that way. So it's really important that you figure out what learner you are. It's not always going to be black and white. You may be 3 different types of learners together. You may be primarily one type of learner, but usually it's a little bit mixed. But once you figure out what works for you, then your scores will go up, your retention will go up, and actually learning won't be so hard. So that's what I really focus on. It's important that you're learning the correct way for yourself. It's the best as well for time efficiency, which is what I'm all about. Getting it in, getting it done, learning, boom. So just a really, really quick recap on what type of learners there are. They're auditory learners. You will probably learn most from my voice, but also be like, oh, not her again. So there are people that like to listen to podcasts, they like to listen to lectures, etc. like this, or they like to listen to music or make rhymes out of words as well. Kinesthetic learners. So these are learners that like movement. They like touch. They like projects, experiments. Again, making things. So a lot of kind of a hands-on type experience. Visual learner. You're going to love your diagrams, your illustrations, maybe drawing, etc. And just looking at that, maybe using different colors, graphs, charts, etc. You can be a mix of all, but try and figure out how best you learn. If you're really good at singing and you know all the words, you probably a really good auditory learner, so podcasts would be a really good idea for you. Just a quick recap on what's the difference between visual, auditory, and kinesthetic again. So your visual learner, they like charts, pictures, diagrams, mind maps, flashcards, really good at visualization as well. Your auditory learner, oopsies, sorry, I didn't mean to put up the other one, but let's go through auditory learner. So again, listening, podcasts, reciting things out loud, acronyms, and they like to be read to. These are kind of their characteristics. They enjoy music, which is what I was saying a while ago, enjoy listening activities, and hum or talk when bored. That actually is a true characteristic of an auditory learner. From my experience in lecturing, I've had a lot of people in class that I recognize that they do that, and I know that they're auditory learners, so that's nice as well. And then kinesthetic, they're very hands-on, like we spoke about a while ago. They like the touch or the feel of things. They like projects. They like games. Usually their characteristics are quite outgoing and expressive. And they talk with their hands, which I've actually just realized I've done quite a lot, and gestures, and they have trouble sitting still. Yes, which actually does sound like me as well. So once you figure out what learner you are, really try and put the effort into learning for your learning type. If that's flashcards, if it's drawings, if it's mind maps, it's important that you make the effort to do that. This is a YouTube video, but I want to make sure that you're learning the way that you're learning. You will be sick of the sound of my voice, but if you want to not look at the computer screen and you have a pen and paper out in front of you and you're drawing a mind map while I'm talking, then great. That's awesome. Yeah, and the most important thing to remember is that you got this. So you just signed up for your course and you're like, what have I done? I just want to be a beautician. I don't want to have to know all the AP. I want to be a holistic therapist. I want to be a reflexologist. I don't want to learn all the AP. You're going to learn all the AP because first off, you have to. But secondly, you're going to love it, and it's really going to enhance your knowledge. It's really going to make you the most amazing therapist that you need to be, or the most amazing personal trainer that you need to be. So just have confidence in yourself and know that you're going to do a really, really good job. And remember, my videos are only 7 to 10 minutes, and I know I talk a lot, but if you can retain the information that I give you within that time, we're doing really well. Remember, they're quick 7 to 10 minutes. You can listen to them on the bus or on the tram or on the train coming home. Plug in your earphones and just keep that retention going. Subconscious learning. And that's it from me. So please subscribe and like if you like the channel so far. We're going to be tearing apart all the different systems. And always write in the comments below if you request anything else. Thanks, guys.